So just tell me what your general thoughts are about the election season and how it's gone for you.
Um, I think the election season for our campaign has gone very well for being in a pandemic.
Mhm.
We had no person-to-person contact with the voters. It was all through social media. We also did a phone banking, we did texting, we did postcards. We sent out over 16,000 postcards. We also did a,
Again.
okay,
Okay.
okay. Yeah, reaching out to the voters was a challenge during the pandemic. We had to basically use social media. And, we used Facebook, we used Twitter, we used Instagram. We posted as much as we possibly could. We were posting on local groups on Facebook, but we ran into some issues there where the members didn't really like all the political, I guess, rhetoric or statements, whatever it is that we're making in the group. So we had to cease posting in those type of groups. And that made it extra hard for us because we had to come up with another way then to get out to the people. So we went in, like any other campaign, we did phone banking. We did texting. We had a texting campaign. We also had emailing campaigns. We did postcards. We sent out over 16,000 postcards. And also we did door hangers. Our last event was a door hanger event. And we put out close to 5,000 door hangers. So we were a campaign committee of approximately 9 people. And I also had approximately maybe 6 or 8 other volunteers. So we did what we could do. In fact, I think the community members or committee members and the volunteers went above and beyond, what they could have done, which is good. That's a dedication that, they believed in the campaign, they believed in me, and they believed in the people that want change. So all in all, I think our campaign went fairly well. I'm a first-time candidate, so I can't really, compare back to other times that I ran. But from what I'm hearing from other candidates and talking with some other locals that did run, I think we did fairly well.
Okay. And like you said, in challenging times too. So this was also, and you may not have the background with it being your first time out, but the process this year in Pennsylvania is different with the mail-in votes. So, and everything, and such a huge percentage of them. Well, I mean, it's not the majority, but they're still a fairly large percentage. So if you can just kind of give me an overview of what you're thinking, what you've thought about how the process has worked overall in Pennsylvania, but specifically here in Cumberland County.
I personally feel that the mail-in voting was a very good idea for Pennsylvania. With the pandemic and the uncertainty of, being in contact with COVID, I think it was right for Pennsylvania to think about the people of the state and protect them from this horrible, invisible, deadly virus. So mail-in voting to me was a plus. I feel that Pennsylvania should have canvass votes at least 3 days before November 3rd. Because we're in a situation right now here in Cumberland County that the mail-in voting will not be canvassed until November the 4th, the day after Election Day. So, I don't feel that's right. But I mean, what are you going to do? So, all in all, I think the state of Pennsylvania did very well with the mail-in voting. There's some glitches, and there's going to be glitches in anything that is new. We never had to go through something like this before, and I think that's one thing that a lot of people, out in society don't understand or don't get. This is something brand new. We never did this before, and just like anything else, you do something for the first time. you're going to find glitches, you're going to find mistakes, but you have to um, realize the mistakes you made and go back and fix them. And that's exactly what the state has done that I have seen. Do I agree with everything? No, but the majority of it, I do agree with.
So here's a theoretical for you. Ooh, I don't know, that was loud, weird. A theoretical for you. If you're elected and bills on the voting and everything come up, would you be in favor of doing some sort of amendments or a bill that would have the canvassing start earlier?
Absolutely. Yes. Yep. Yeah, I would collaborate with my colleagues, and we can come up with a system that will work. And there is a system out there that'll work. And 3 days before the election day, to canvass, would be substantially, good. That's going to give the freedom and the I don't know what I want to say, um, confidence in the voters, that on election day that the results will be done on at the end of that day.
Okay. And then the last question, and I did come up with a follow-up for it too. So the last question is just general thoughts that you had about your race and how, I mean, you've talked already about how you connected with people, but in general, how the race was conducted and everything like that.
As far as our race is the way it was conducted, we kind of, I guess, made our own way.
Mhm.
There towards the beginning of the race, up until probably the past 2 to 3 months, we were on our own. We did not have any support from the local. Up until that point, it was kind of a give and take on every one of us in the committee of, somebody would come up with an idea and, okay, we'll try it. It works good, continue with that idea. And, luckily, my committee, our main goal with our committee was communication. Communication to me is the backbone of anything. If there's no communication, you're not going to be able to do anything. In my eyes, communication also brings on trust, honesty, and respect. And we needed that in our campaign. We needed that in our committee. And we did have that. We built that. It took a lot of work, but we did it. So just for an example, if I needed to ask a question to my manager, I could email my manager and probably within 5-10 minutes, I had an answer. So there was no waiting. So we had a very well, I'm going to call it oiled machine. We kind of meshed together just like gears on a clock, and those gears on that clock actually gave us the time that we needed to do what we had to do within the campaign.
Okay. And what kinds of things, and your theme there on the sign behind you, Walk with Janelle, what kind of themes did people talk about? What kind of topics were at top of their mind when you talk to people?
I think the top topic was COVID-19
Mhm.
and the loss of the local businesses in the area and the economy. So that's on my platform. And one of the other big things was gerrymandering. Uh,
Oh,
Jerry,
okay.
yeah, gerrymandering is a big, huge issue. And, I support a citizens committee on gerrymandering, and I'm going to fight for that. I'm going to write, whatever legislation it is that we need to do. I will support that. A couple other things were my top priority on my platform is nursing home care and staffing. Um, the majority of my career was in healthcare and facilities and property management. And I know what happens behind the walls of those nursing homes, and it's not pretty. So that's my top priority. When I'm elected, we're going to hit that nursing home care and staffing issue very hard. I already have some other colleagues that are willing to join me, in that quest. And we're going to hit it good and hard, and hopefully we can do something about that. Strengthened environmental protections was another lot of questions I got on my listening events. All the warehouses and the idling of the trucks, the air in the borough of Carlisle is terrible. And it compounds and quadruples when there's an accident on 81. And 81 brings into another platform issue of infrastructure. We need a lot of work done for our infrastructure of the community. We have school funding, school safety. That's another big top thing for me. I do a lot of advocating for bullying, harassment of kids in school. And we need that school safety reform ASAP. So that's another big top thing. And I have quite a few other priorities, but my main goal was to have my listening events that I could find out what the concerns were of the citizens of the district, so that I can add them to my platform for when I'm elected, that I can work on their issues also. The other thing I want to be sure that people understand is, I am not running this campaign for me. I am running it for the people of the 199th. I'm not running it for my own personal gain and recognition. I don't care about me. I care about the people, and I will work for and with the people, and I will be open, I will be visible, and I will be approachable, and I will listen. So they're the key factors of, basically why I decided to run.
Now, what are your plans for Election Day and the couple days after when we're counting the votes?
Well, election night, I got to work.
Oh, well, there's that.
Yeah. Day on election day, my manager and I were going to go around to a few of the polls, just to see what's happening and be visible and answer any questions that anybody might have. I think it's going to be a little bit kind of awkward because a lot of the voters won't really know who you are when you're all messed up. But we're gonna be there. We're gonna be visible, and that's in my vision for the community is being visible. So that's the plans for election day and election night. Like I said, I'll be working. The days afterwards, we're just gonna have to watch the count. And keep our fingers crossed, keep our toes crossed, keep our legs crossed. Whatever we can cross, we need to cross. And hope that the voters saw the good in our campaign and the good in me, and that they can reach out and they can trust me and trust our campaign.
Okay. Any other thoughts then before I let you go?
I don't think so. I just want to thank everybody that, supported me, that supported my campaign, and all the voters that, decided to vote for me and make change within the 199th district. It's been 28 years since it was run by Democrats. And, I intend on making that change.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. And I don't know, obviously we won't be able to say, on Tuesday night who won or anything like that.
Right,
But
right.